Hey, hi, hello creatives, welcome back or to my channel. My name is Lindsay and today we are finally diving into my June plan with me. I know this is a little late, but I ran out of power and I'll discuss that a little bit further. But first, let me show you my supplies for today, which of course is my A5 size Archer and Olive notebook, which this is my last month. We have 993 and 055 of Tombow dual brush pens. We have my Unipin fine liners. We also have some stickers from, I believe, AliExpress, and some sticker sheets that I've gotten from my Four Bears subscription. Four Bears subscription. And I am also using a bunch, and I mean a bunch, as you can see, photos from Pinterest. I, of course, did not use all of them here, but I did use quite a bit, but there was 2 pages that I ended up not using at all. A part of this setup is because my printer ended up being a slight pinkish color, which was kind of annoying, but I think I'm just gonna obviously use those photos for a journal with me in my other notebook. So no big deal, I'll still use them, and any photos that I don't use from this setup as well, I'm still going to use on my I do the monthly memories page that I'll use some photos, and then again anything I don't use I will again use for a journal with me session. So I love this retro yellow aesthetic that I went for why can't I speak? For this theme this month, and I love it. As you can see, I kind of screwed up there with the J, but I just embraced it and made it look like or just accepted the fact that I made a mistake and just moving forward. So I'm just kind of going over each letter, but I'm doing it messy, and I'm going over a couple of times so that they're not you can see the different strokes that I'm doing. And then what I've been doing in my last few month themes, I've been on the left side of my title page. I've been doing just a small little cluster to basically utilize and show off my colors and stuff that I'm using, and a little bit, maybe I guess we can kind of call it a little bit of a mood board prior to the mood board that I actually do for each month. But so this came together pretty quickly, I think. I tend to go through a few photos. Sometimes I cut them out because, again, you don't need to see how much, how indecisive I am. But for the most part, I don't overthink it too much, and I just kind of, set on a few pictures, and once they kind of look good, then I just go with them. But again, I love that page. I love my title page, and as you may have seen, I did add a couple of stickers from my Four Bears subscription. Those 4 different sticker sheets that I'm using, and one of them are rainbows. So I've kind of incorporated some rainbow stickers in with this yellow theme because June is Pride Month, so I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that as well within my spread, and without doing the generic rainbow theme for June, which I know is quite popular. I think that this theme looks amazing with the yellow, and as well as with that pop of rainbow colors in there. I really like how it all turned out. But so as you saw when I started my monthly calendar here, I already had drawn in the squares. I actually did that by accident. I went to go try and, pencil them all in first. And when I started to pencil them in, I actually used a fine liner instead. So I'm just whatever. I generally do the same style anyways because I do write in my monthlies. So I want to make sure that there's enough space for me to write. And then I just kept this page pretty simple, as I don't have a whole lot of room, but I really like that bee photo, and it actually filled out that space pretty well. And then I did the title page, or the title, I guess, along the left-hand side. And then as usual, in my bottom right corner, I add in my YouTube and Instagram stats. It's just fun numbers. I don't really pay attention to too much to my numbers anymore. It's just kind of a cool thing to look back at to see, months that I had more growth than others, but it's not something that I obsess over. It's just, I'm a numbers person, so it's just fun to see. And then here I'm adding in some washi tape for, I'm going for a bachelorette the end of June, and we are actually going to Mexico, which is my first time traveling in over 2.5 years. So I'm looking forward to it, and we feel safe to do so. I finally just got through with all of my passport information, and we got married. My husband and I obviously got married 5 years ago, and my passport expires this year, and you can't travel within 6 months of your expiry of your passport, and mine actually expires the end of May. So obviously I had to get a new one, but it was a shit show. It's like, there's no other way to say it, is because we could only go and renew our passport if you're traveling within 25 days. And then I decided to go and pick up instead of have it shipped out, because I know that there's people that things were supposed to ship out back in March and they still haven't received them yet. So I avoided all of that. I paid an extra $20 to go and pick it up, and I actually picked it up today, which is June 6th, Monday, June 6th. So I'm very thankful for that. But anyway, so we're moving on to my money page, which again, I do every month. Generally speaking, my monthly setup is basically the same each month. It's just in a different theme, obviously, and and sometimes how I set up the pages are slightly different, but for the most part, they're pretty much the same. So the only added section that I put on this bills page is my goals. Last month I had like a little note section, which I actually really liked, and then it still gave me a section for some decoration and some layering and stuff, a cluster. So yeah, I really like how that turned out with that pop of color and stuff. And then on the right hand side, as usual, my breakdown for each of our paychecks for the month, just to kind of allocate where our money goes. And yeah, I love how this one turned out. This one, like, I don't know, screams like very retro vibes to me, and I'm sure that that's probably the little abstract I did around the bills, notes, and goals titles. But anyways, I really liked that page. So moving on to, again, a very common spread that I put in all of my months now, and one that I'm working on now is my memories page. I definitely get pretty behind on my memories page each month, but I do, for the most part, sit down and do a few days at a time. I really have to get better, but life, right? Life. So yeah, so I'm doing my memories page. I cut off a little section of just a very generic picture that just had something like a very small bee or something. I actually think it was like the moon phases. Anyways, so I cut off just the top part so I can use that as my title page, or as my title, sorry. So I really like doing that, but my fine liner didn't work so good on the matte color of the matte texture of the paper, but I was still able to obviously write it. And again, I'm doing my titles in the same kind of format of the like scratchy look, where you can see that I've tried to draw multiple times. And so now I'm trying to work through my mood board, and I went through actually a few pages here, or a few different pictures rather, to try and figure out one that I liked, or like a cluster that I liked. I really wanted to put that car in the mood board, which unfortunately didn't make it for this mood board, but I'm definitely going to use it in a journaling session because it is quite large. So I don't think I'll use it in my weekly spreads or in my monthly memories page, just because it is so big. So I'll definitely use it in a journal with me session, and I'm sure I'll probably do one of those as a short. But I really like how this mood board turned out. It was very picture heavy, but again, I added lots of different, the yellows and the different textures and some background pages and such. And again, this is all just stuff that I've searched in Pinterest as like yellow aesthetic or yellow, and this is the stuff that pops up, and I just save it onto my Pinterest board, which I can have linked for you below so you can see if any of these pictures that you'd like is jumping out at you, then I will have them available for you there. And then I go in and add some stickers. And then actually what I did in this mood board that I don't normally do is, I guess I normally like doodle on like the white sections of the page, but this time I actually doodled on the picture. And I believe there was a random video I found on YouTube. I think her channel was Planning with Bree, and I think I watched one of her Plan With Me videos, and she actually drew on the picture, and I love that. I don't know why I haven't done that in the past. So yeah, I decided to draw on the actual photos here, and I love the extra like depth it adds to the photo, and like just by doing a little bit of the outlines for the flowers, and here I'm doing it for the orange or lemon. I think it's a lemon. Anyways, yeah, like I really like how this looked and added that just, I don't even know what kind of vibe to call it. I guess it's still retro, but anyways, I just love how it looked. So I was a big fan of that. And moving on to my this is my habits page, which last month was my first time doing a habit tracker, which I gotta be honest, I was shit at. I just did not follow it really at all, and I struggled. I did not really keep up with it. Mind you, in May, so as I mentioned earlier, like right at the beginning of the intro of this video, was that we lost power, and we lost power for into our 5th day. So we were 4.5 days without power. We had a huge storm and actually a tornado. I'm from Southern Ontario, and tornadoes are just not, they're not known around here. We've never really had a tornado. So it was pretty scary, honestly, to experience. And we were, and I have a 2-year-old son, so as we're looking out the front window and we see 3 huge maple trees that just get taken down like they're twigs, was very surreal to see and very scary, honestly. And it took a second for us to really figure out, be like, shit, we have to go like to our little crawl space, because we don't even have a basement, we have a crawl space, just to let the wind die down, because the wind was just wild. And it was pretty scary. So so again, we lost power for 4.5 days, and it's, my motivation to do a whole lot of anything was not quite there. We were lucky enough and very fortunate enough to have a generator, so we were able to have like the bare necessities of things, but or necessities, I guess, for us living. And so we were thankful for that. But again, it was still, I had not a whole lot of motivation to do a whole lot of anything. So so I didn't really use my bullet journal really at all in May, but I will go back and kind of back plan, I guess, or like use it more as memory keeping for that time. But anyways, so as what I'm doing now is actually really fun. So in one of the sticker sheets that I've gotten from my 4Bear sticker subscription is this page that has like some spring, like summer bucket list stuff to do. And so I just kind of added those photos or those little stickers on a bucket list page. And I'll put like a date next to it as I do it or something, or maybe I'll do even maybe a tip in of some photos of what I've done. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not quite sure. But I just wanted to mention as well, so my habits that I did decide to do, because I did not decide during the recording of this video, but I did decide after, and I'm going to, it's a lot, so I'm overwhelming myself probably a lot, but I gotta try, which is going to be read my water intake, my skincare, to write in my bullet journal every day, and then try and journal at least every other day or in some sort of way, whether it's digitally or physical, or doesn't matter, in some sort of way, record my feelings, my thoughts, get something, use a creative outlet, something to kind of journal. And then, so then as you saw, I whipped through my weekly pages, because I've gone back to a single page weekly instead of a double page weekly. which again, because I haven't been so much, like I haven't been using my journal as often, that I just don't really want to overwhelm myself with too much. So I'm just trying to do with this amount of space and not too much more. But I can't believe we're already through this video. This was the last page that I'm setting up today. And now I'm going to do the final flip through for you. So if you made it this far, I want to thank you so much for watching. It means so much to me. It helps my channel grow, and I'm very grateful for all of you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of the things, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.